Before I get into today's story, I just wanted to say I really hope you guys enjoy this video. And if there was anything you didn't like about my last diary video, please let me know in the comments so I can make these videos even better for you guys. Anyways, let me tell you about graduation. It was honestly one of the most emotional days of my life. The day started completely normal. We were sitting in our last class ever, talking to each other like always. Then our teacher stood at the front of the classroom and reminded everyone not to forget about graduation later that day. The second he said that, the whole classroom exploded with excitement. Everybody started cheering. People were clapping. Some people were hugging each other. Some people were already talking about taking pictures after graduation. It finally hit us. School was over. We actually made it. Before I continue, I do have to explain something. You notice that Noah is with me after school. That was completely my mistake. That was supposed to be Ace. I accidentally used Noah's character while recording and didn't realize it until I started editing the video. So just pretend that's Ace the whole time. I promise it was just a little recording mix-up. After school, Ace and I decided to stop by a little cafe before going to the hospital. The cafe was really cozy. It had an autumn vibe to it. Most of the walls were brown, with a few soft green sections that made everything feel warm and relaxing. The tables were dark brown wood, and the whole place just felt peaceful. Honestly, it was the perfect place to calm our nerves. I ordered a cherry pie. Ace ordered a pumpkin pie. We sat across from each other, but neither of us really knew what to say at first. We both kept looking at each other and then back down at our food. I could tell he was nervous, and I know I was even more nervous than he was. We started talking about the pregnancy, about what could happen, about how scary everything felt. I remember telling him that I was terrified, not just a little nervous. Actually terrified. Everything was happening so fast. I didn't know what the future was going to look like anymore. But Ace just smiled at me. He reached over, held my hand, and reminded me that no matter what happened, we were going through it together. He told me everything was going to be okay. He kept trying to make me laugh because he could tell how scared I was. By the time we finished our pie, I felt a tiny bit calmer. Not completely, but enough to keep going. Then we headed to the hospital. I didn't record us walking there, but trust me, I was so nervous the entire way. I kept overthinking everything. What if something's wrong? What if the baby isn't okay? What if... Ace stopped me every single time. He kept reminding me not to think about the worst possible outcome. He just kept saying, "It's going to be okay. I promise." When we arrived at the hospital, we took one of those number tickets. Somehow, we got number 1, so we didn't have to wait very long at all. The receptionist called us over almost immediately. He had blonde hair, a really thick beard, and sunglasses on. He was actually really nice. We handed him our paperwork and told him we were there for an ultrasound. He smiled, checked everything, and told us the doctor was ready for us. The hospital itself was really clean. Everything was blue and white. Even though it looked nice, I was still incredibly nervous. We were still wearing our school uniforms from earlier. It felt strange going from our last day of school straight to one of the biggest moments of our lives. When we walked into the ultrasound room, I immediately noticed the huge windows. The view outside was beautiful. There were green mountains, trees, and a bright blue sky. It almost distracted me from how nervous I was. The doctor walked in with the ultrasound machine. She had orange hair and the kindest smile. She was wearing white pants, a white shirt, white Crocs, and a blue jacket over everything. The second she looked at me, she could tell I was scared. She spoke so gently and explained every step before she did anything. That honestly helped me calm down. I laid down while Ace stood beside me the entire time. He never left my side. The doctor started the ultrasound. For a few seconds, nobody said anything. The room was completely quiet. I was so nervous I could hear my own heartbeat. Then the doctor smiled. She looked at us and said that everything looked healthy. Our baby was healthy. I don't think I've ever felt so relieved in my life. I almost started crying right there. Ace looked just as emotional as I was. We're still really young. Everything has happened so quickly. But hearing those words made us feel so much better. When we left the room and got into the elevator, I admitted that I was still scared. Ace hugged me and smiled. He told me, "I know you're nervous, but I promise we're going to figure this out together." That made me smile. Then it was finally time for graduation. Everybody changed into those big graduation gowns and matching caps. Seeing the whole class dressed like that honestly made me emotional. The principal stood at the front wearing a white shirt with bright red pants. Her hair tied neatly into a bun. She called everyone's names one by one as we walked across the stage. Our teacher stood nearby in his usual uniform with his round glasses. I could already tell he was trying not to cry.
Here's a tiny spoiler.
And the speeches started. Most of the speeches were really sweet.
So much for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you in the
People
next video.
thanked their teachers, they thanked their parents, they talked about memories and everything they learned over the years. Ace's speech, though, it was definitely the funniest one. Everybody laughed, even the teachers couldn't stop smiling. Then Noah gave his speech. His speech completely changed the mood. It was emotional. He talked about growing up, about how much the teachers had helped us, about saying goodbye to people we'd seen almost every day for years. By the end of his speech, I looked over and saw our teacher wiping tears away. A few students were crying too. I even had tears in my eyes. After the ceremony, we all took a huge class photo together before everyone started taking pictures with their families and friends. We hugged each other, laughed together, and promised we'd stay in touch even after graduation. It honestly felt like the perfect ending to such an unforgettable chapter of our lives. Anyways, diary. That's all for today's story. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you think this diary-style storytelling is a fun idea. If you enjoyed it, definitely let me know in the comments because I'd love to make more videos like this. The next video is going to skip forward a few months, so you guys will get to see Ellie much further along in her pregnancy and get lots of updates about her life. Trust me, a lot has happened. There are so many updates waiting for you guys. Ellie and Ace have even moved into a house together, which is honestly crazy to think about. I'm so excited to show you everything that's happened since graduation. And here's a tiny, tiny spoiler. Ace is getting a bad. I'm not telling you what it is yet, though. You'll just have to wait for the next video to find out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video.